If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Long Shots, VSiN's premier golf betting podcast. Here's Matt Brown, Wes Reynolds, and Kelly Bidlin.
Hey, it is Long Shots, golf betting podcast here on the VSiN Podcast Network. Matt Brown, Wes Reynolds coming to you for the Zurich Classic down in New Orleans, Louisiana. A little bit outside of New Orleans, but hey, you've only heard of New Orleans, so we'll just talk about it and say it's in New Orleans. Real quick, though, Wes, shout out to Kelly Bidlin. Hits the Justin Thomas outright. Kelly Bidlin won so much money, he decided to go on vacation instead of coming on the podcast with us this week. So good for him. And honestly, you know, Wes, like I know golf is there's a lot of variables that go into it. There is luck involved. You know, there is all kinds of, you got to run pure sometimes with everything. But the golf gods got it right in giving this to Justin Thomas. I mean, look, Andrew Novak, 2 consecutive drives get sprayed into the trees, one of which would have missed so bad that it would have been out of bounds into the damn parking lot, and hits trees and bounces back into the middle of the fairway. And I'm going, golf gods, do not rob Justin Thomas of this tournament when Novak has sprayed 2 consecutive drives into trees and end up right back in the center of the damn fairway. But, you know, all said and done, ends up winning in a playoff, ends the 3-year drought for him, Wes. And, you know, listen, we've kind of said it here on the podcast, like, he's rounding back into form. I mean, he was lost there for a couple of years and couldn't find it off the tee, and then he couldn't putt it in the ocean, and there was all kinds of weird stuff going on with JT. But, you know, we've seen it all start to come back together for him.
Yeah, we have. I mistimed it. I thought a win was coming. Yep. I didn't know when it was going to be, and it was at the RBC Heritage. I was dealing with my own golf gods I thought was maybe going to get me in the back door on one, and that was in the Corrales Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. By the way, golf gods not caught kind of Joel Damon betters as he bogeys the last 3 holes. Ends up not even getting into a playoff. I had Michael Chorbornson, who actually, if he has a 5-foot par on 18, does not make it and doesn't get into a playoff. Garrick Higo ends up winning, getting in the back door, kind of like he did with the Palmetto a couple years ago. And then I also had our guy. Now, he had finished about an hour earlier. Alejandro Tosti finishes tied for second along with Chorbornson and I believe 2 others. Tosti missed a 10-inch putt during the final round on Sunday, and I was like, "Oh my God.
You're like that's
that had to happen."
You're like that's when you just know I was not meant to win this one. Like, I mean,
no,
not meant to win. This one.
No, I wasn't. Thought I was going to get lucky. Did not. But good week for the placements for me, at least. Not as good as week as Kelly Bidlin certainly had, but good week on the placements, at least, that kind of were a saving grace. So I actually did make a little money in golf this weekend, despite not an outright. And see if we can do the same for an event that I think is a really fun event, but a really tough event to bet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I had my own. I'm not going to say bad beat. Actually, what I should just say is, don't check your account before a tournament is over type deal. So I was out last week, Wes, because I'd popped over to San Diego for some stuff. And, you know, we can't play DFS here in Nevada, but you can sign up over in California. And so since I was over there, I was like, you know what? No legal sports betting here, but I'll fire some DFS lineups into this RBC Heritage. And after the 13th hole, I was winning the big tournament for $200,000, and
wow.
By the time it was all said and done, I was in 10th place instead of first place, and 10th place, because the tournament is so top heavy, pays $194,000 less than first place. So first place $200K. 10th place, $6K. And it's like, you know, listen, I'm not complaining. $25 in a $6K. Like, look, it's great. But when you look after 13 holes and you're winning $200,000, I'm like, this is awesome. This is going to be the tournament for me. And then, my guys quit making birdies, and other guys started making some birdies. And, next thing you know, I'm down in 10th place. So good tournament overall. But, boy, what could have been, I guess, was what I was left with there in that one. Just don't check your DFS lineups before the tournament is like about over, because you're only getting your hopes up, and you definitely don't want to do that.
It's about like NBA betting or something in the fourth quarter. Yeah, don't even watch until the fourth quarter.
All right, guys, so we're heading down to New Orleans, Zurich Classic. Y'all know how this goes. This is the team format in all of this. A little bit of a wonky tournament, certainly not one that I'm going to bet heavily at all because, hey, listen, it's just weird, right? We don't, Wes, it's a difficult handicap for us. Like, we can certainly come up with a theory of how we want to attack this tournament, but end of the day, how do we really know how these guys are going to play together? How do we really know how serious they're going to take these things? Defending champion Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry do return to defend their championship, but hey, they've already won it, Wes, and then Rory just won the Masters. If we get videos of these two guys just down on Bourbon Street, like after Thursday's round, and like it wouldn't surprise me in the least bit, right? So like, I don't know. It's a wonky tournament for me. I'll have some fun bets, but this is certainly not one of those that I take super, super serious, and I'm going to be mad if I have like a negative ROI on or something.
Yeah, and Rory and Lowry, maybe their last chance to have fun before you get like really into the nitty-gritty before the PGA next month. But yeah, they're at the top of the board. Kurt Kitayama and Colin Morikawa 12-1. Thomas Dietrich and Robert McIntyre T8 here last year 18-1. JT Poston and Keith Mitchell. Mitchell was the other guy that was T2 at the Corrales Punta Cana 20-1. They're both St. Simon's Island guys, as are Andrew Novak and Ben Griffin 22-1. Taylor Moore and Wyndham Clark have both hit the podium here, but with different partners. You have Aaron Rye and Sahith Theegala 25-1. The Højgaards are teaming up, Nikolai and Rasmus. Billy Horschel with Tom Hoagie 28-1. So yeah, you've had some chalky ones win here, but you've had some odd pairings as well. I think they started this format back in like 2017. It was Jonas Blixt and a then unknown Cameron Smith that were 100-1 winners in this. Ryan Palmer partnered with John Rahm and that's a good guy to partner with to get a win. Mark Leishman, Cameron Smith, Patrick Cantlay, Xander Schauffele, Nick Hardy, Davis Riley 2 years ago, Shane Lowry, Rory last year, also Billy Horschel, Scott Piercy won it in 2018. So the odds, you've had some shorter guys. Lowry and McIlroy were 8-1, Cantlay and Schauffele 9-1, Leishman and Smith 12-1, Palmer and Rahm 16, but Hardy and Riley were like 40-1. Horschel and Piercy were 40-1. Blix and Smith were 100-1. Chad Ramey and Martin Traynor were actually in the playoff against Rory and Lowry last year, and I think they were triple digits if I recall. So yeah, you get interesting pairings. Some of them make sense. Maybe they went to the same college. Some of them, they live in the same community. They live in St. Simons, or they're neighbors in Orlando, or neighbors in Vegas like Kitayama and Morikawa are. And then I was looking at some of these teams, Matt, and I have the list, and I'll have it at the piece tomorrow up at VSiN.com. Some of these pairings are like random. It's like I'm trying to figure out the connection, can't figure it out. Just see if they shoot low and if they function together on alternate shots.
Yeah, guys, Thursday is 4-ball, which is the best ball. Friday is going to be alternate shot. Then we'll have a cut. Top 33 pairs and ties will advance to the weekend, which we play another 4-ball, which is best ball on Saturday, and then an alternate shot again on Sunday for the format here on this one. Wes, what are we looking at from a course standpoint as they head to TPC Louisiana?
Yeah, it is TPC Louisiana, as you mentioned. It is a par 72. I think the stock yardage here, I believe, is 74.25. So it's hosted this event since 2005. Now, this is just started as a team event in 2017, but originally designed by Pete Dye in 2004. So a lot of bunkers, by the way, on this course. Only Pebble Beach has had more so far this year on the PGA Tour. 5 water hazards on 7 holes. They redid greens a few years ago where they redid it with Tiff Eagle Bermuda, but it's overseeded with POA. Fairway is about medium width, that not that hard to hit. Green's a little over 5,200 square feet, 12 on the stimp, non-penal rough, only about 2 inches, flat course, so no like elevation changes, hardly at all. So the different Pete Dye courses, Harbortown last week, River Highlands, Sawgrass, PJ West, a bunch of different places where they played majors. So if you want to look in that regard, but this is obviously a very tough event to model per se, and I'm not going to do very much. I'll list a couple like stats and whatnot, but yeah, it's very hard because there's a lot of randomness, and you did explain the format there. Best ball, 4-ball in the first round, then alternate shot, and then best ball, I believe, in round 3, and then alternate shot on Sunday. By the way, 80 teams in here, top 33, and ties make the cut.
Yeah, it is, for me, Wes, I take a little bit of modeling here, and it's mainly just for me to see if there's any teams under the radar that I'm not really paying attention to. Is there someone kind of running hot coming in here or something? But again, we don't know how these dudes are going to play in alternate shot format really and truly, right? I mean, we don't really know how that's going to go down, and that's where this thing is won and lost, right? I mean, like best ball, whenever you have, two different dudes being able to go aggressively at a hole. I mean, these some of the best guys in the world. They're gonna go low. It's like this thing's won and lost in the alternate shot. And from a modeling standpoint for you and I mean, we can say like, well, this guy's good at this and this guy's good at that and this guy's good at this. But I mean, still, at the end of the day, it still all has to mesh together. So I'm not saying it's useless to model. I would never say that about any people who want to model the tournament. I will say that it is by far the least important tournament of the year from a modeling standpoint for me.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You kind of know what stats I think are going to matter. You're always going to use approach. I think, taking advantage of the par fives, especially in that best ball format on Thursday and Saturday, putting birdie or better. So, this is one that I don't want to say you can't model. Don't go too knee deep into it, though, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Like not like you would for a normal tournament. Take, who's going to make birdies, who's going to stripe it with the irons, and who's going to make putts.
And at the end of the day,
that's pretty much it.
Accept the variance that you probably are going to need to get lucky, right? I mean, because you just need your dudes to run good one of the days, and that's how this is going to be won and lost with all of this. So, Wes, as we look at this, I mean, obviously, the best team is McIlroy and Lowry, but I mean, we're never betting a plus 360. I mean, we're not betting a plus 360 in a format like this, unless you want to fire a single bullet. If you want to fire a single bullet, fine, play them and just walk away. But if you're playing multiple teams, you can't really put a 360 in there and try to come out ahead, right? I mean, if you're playing a bunch of other teams, so again, they're the rightful favorites. They should be, but just can't make my card. There's just no way.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah, and another thing to consider here, obviously, because it's a team event, you don't get the world ranking points and you don't get the Masters invitation, but you get everything else. You get the FedEx Cup points, you get the 2-year exemption, you do get the invite to the PGA and the Players and the Tournament of Champions. So there's still a lot on the line, despite the fact that this is a change of pace event from the normal grinding in single player tournaments. But there's still a lot of benefits here. So I know it's not the top heavy field, even though you still got some names here. But I think they're going to, a lot of guys going to take this seriously. I think, and you do have random teams in here and maybe guys that wouldn't be playing. Like I saw Sangmoon Bae was in this field with Siwoo Kim, and it's like, I don't know how many events he's even played on the PGA Tour this year. Alex Fitzpatrick with his brother Matt, because that's a chance for them to play together. But, I'm sure Matt, is like, hey, I want to win because I want to get my brother his PGA Tour card. So a lot of different motivations at play here.
So when you kind of start to put together a team and teams that you're looking at, how did you go about it? What team stood out to you? What are you looking at on getting on your card this week?
Well, one that I'm probably going to play, and there's some 28-1 out there. I am going to play Billy Horschel and Tom Hoagie, just because Horschel, by the way, has won here twice. One here was Piercy as a partner, and then one here individually. So Horschel and Hoagie, and we know Horschel has been a very good at team competition, especially of late, where he was on that team with Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele, Lucas Glover. I think the Atlanta Drive that won the TGL. So Horschel gets pumped up for this, and Horschel probably also, he's really going to be driven to try to make that Ryder Cup, because there's some open spots in that back half of Team USA, I think, still yet to be decided. And to win a pairs event, I don't think would hurt his cause. And then Tom Hoagie, we know how many are better at approach than Tom Hoagie on the PGA Tour? Not very many. So I would think that that's going to be a very good team, at least in the mid-range. So that's what I'm looking for. And then I gotta look over the birdie or better stuff tonight and see, who makes a bunch of birdies, because you're gonna have to take chances here. And you've got to go low. Like when you see that 4-ball, when you're checking PGAtour.com or whatever app you're checking scores, you're going to have to be seeing guys double digits under par. You don't want your guys in 4-ball to be like, they went 4 under. That's not going to be good enough. Even if the guys that score really well on Thursday come back to the pack and alternate shot, got to make birdies here. Bottom line.
I really want dudes that have been kind of stroking it tee to green and like, look, I'll deal with the stuff once they get to the green or whatever. And so, like, if you look, obviously the guy in the last 24 rounds, number one in this field is Rory McIlroy, but just kind of give people some insight here as to some of these other guys that do pop up. Like Rico Hoey is second in this field in last 24 rounds, tee to green. You've got Kevin Yu, 5th overall, Aaron Rai, 6th overall, a name that we've mentioned several times on this podcast. Wes, Bud Cauley, who seems to be a little bit, getting into form here after coming off of injury and all that, shoots a 7 under in the final round this past week. He is sitting there at 8th overall tee to green over the last 24 rounds in this field. So I think that there are some dudes that we can identify that at least one part of the team, they really have that kind of going. And then, as you mentioned, then you can just go after some birdie makers after that. Just go to the scoring stats, see the people that you think might be able to run hot, and see if they can parlay that into 4 decent rounds.
Yeah, no question about it. So that's what you're going to have to do. I'm trying to look and see what the score. And I think Hardy and Riley were like 30 under a couple years ago when they won. McIlroy and Lowry were 25. So you're going to have to be probably 25 under par or better as a team when you're getting late on Sunday to, I think, really have a chance at this thing. So most of the scoring is going to be on best ball, because it's easier to take, because it's like, okay, one guy hits a bad shot and one guy birdies, you're going to take the better ball. It's easier to score on 4-ball than it is on foursomes on this thing.
Yeah, so I played three different teams here, and it's probably not going to shock anybody that I played Ryan Gerard. I played Gerard so many times here, Wes, but he's paired up with Danny Walker, and if you look at these stats for Danny Walker, he makes a ton of birdies, and his tee to green game is actually pretty good. If you look in the last 24 rounds, Danny Walker 4th overall in birdie or better percentage in this field as we enter this, and of course, as I just mentioned, some pretty good tee to green stats as well. So I played him and Gerard. I played Kim and Gim as well.
That's one I was considering, because I had Chan Kim last week. By the way, I think he was on the first page of the leaderboard as well at the Corrales Punta Cana. And then Doug Gim's always up there on the approach for sure.
And so played those two guys. I really like what they bring to the table as a team. And also the odds just attached to these teams, right? These are these are 55, 60 to 1. So it's a decent payoff for these teams. And again, I think that they do have the skills to get it done. The final one I played was Hoey and Ryder. We know Rico Hoey is going to just show up in a lot of these stats that we like each and every time we run these models. Now, obviously, his win equity has not been all that great for us, but, pair him up with Sam Ryder, who we know can sometimes just go nuclear, right? I mean, yes, he can also, shoot 7 over, but, Ryder is also, always live for a 6 under, 7 under round as well. Give me the volatility of a team like that as well. Again, sitting out at 45 to 1. So honestly, those are the only 3 teams that I'm going to play this week, and I'm going to sit back, relax. This is a good week, guys, if golf has been kicking your ass a little bit. If you want to take this week off, or if you just want to play a few teams for some small money and just kind of chill out, Wes, I always point to this week on the calendar and say, look, golf betting can be a grind, and trust me, Wes and I know as much as anybody, and certainly if you're not winning, it can feel like you just keep getting kicked in the teeth over and over and over again. This is a great week to reset. If you don't want to bet at all and go in and just kind of look at your results and see maybe where you've gone wrong, or if you need to make some adjustments or do different things like that, I think this is a fine week to do that too.
It is. Yeah, this is. I think if you're betting, lower your unit size. There's a lot of randomness in this event, and a lot of variance, and some of these teams, a lot of these teams are new teams. Some of them have played together before, and you may get guys that can override maybe kind of questionable form coming in. I had Nick Taylor and Adam Hadwin a couple years ago, and they finished runner up. But they always play this event. They're 2 Canadians, so Hadwin has not been playing very well. So you could maybe see these guys play very well, and I think earlier today actually we did have there are some late minute in terms of substitutions, in terms of withdrawals from the event. So you had for instance Gary Woodland's out, so Jason Duffner now takes over as the partner for Lee Hodges, and you're going to have a couple of these late changes, so definitely keep that in mind. And as you look some of the pairings, maybe look at some of the backstories. Are these guys neighbors somewhere? Did they play at the same college? Did they play on a Walker Cup team or something together? So that's where you get, and then most of these teams probably don't even have a backstory. They're just 2 random guys. Okay, you're paired with each other.
Right. Yeah. Seriously, there's that as well. So, guys, for me, again, 3 bets in the account. Hoey Ryder, that's 45 to 1 out there. Kim Gim, that's 55 to 1. Walker Gerard is about 60 to 1. I think that's going to be it for me, Wes. Again, it's just a good tournament for me to kind of reset in the season. We're coming off of a good win there at the Masters, certainly a sweaty win at the Masters, and one which that was profitable, but not quite as profitable as it could have been. To do some hedging and stuff like that. But I feel pretty good about where we're at, especially as a podcast, just in general. The 3 of us, I think, have been on it more times than not so far. And so, hey, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to look at the results here, see if there's anything I can tweak a little bit further as we head in to the meat of the season here a little bit further. But yeah, 3 teams for me at decently mid to long odds, and that'll be good enough for me this week.
Yeah, look, I want to do better in my signature events, though. I got the piece of Rory in play, but I don't really count that because that wasn't pre-tournament. But yeah, I got to do better, man. I guess Kelly's got the formula right now. He's hitting these signature events, man, and I'm hitting these regular events. But I've got to fine tune some things, and that's what you always have to do. I think when you're doing this, and really looking at how much do you value course form versus recent form, and how much, do you weigh certain things? Because I feel like even last week at the RBC, even though I didn't have a guy right there to win, I know Daniel Berger finished T3, and I had 3 guys in the top 10, but nobody was right there. But I felt like I handicapped it fine, in terms of placements and all that stuff. And some weeks that's what it's going to be, where it's going to feel like a drought, man, if you don't hit one in a month or something. But don't despair. Don't despair if you haven't, because there's always some things right around
Absolutely,
the corner.
dudes. And again, there's going to be the full write-up from Wes over at VSiN.com, so be sure and take that in. If you want to go to the picks page, you will see his picks in there. Again, mine, I don't know, man. I put them in there like Wes. I don't. Sometimes they get in there, sometimes they don't. Maybe it's like I'll just be like the dude that's the pod exclusive plays or something. Like you gotta listen to the podcast if you want the plays or whatever. But yeah, they'll definitely be over there from Wes for sure. And guys, we're running a special right now, $59 over at VSiN.com. Everything now until August the 1st, so you can get everything we do. Of course, there's still the Kentucky Derby to come. We still have the rest of the basketball and NHL playoffs, and of course baseball season rolls on. So you can get all of that stuff, $59 now through August the 1st, VSiN.com/subscribe. For Wes, I am Matt. Good luck on all your Zurich bets.
This is your before and after story. Instead of imagining a rewarding career in medical imaging, Southeastern College can actually take you there. Prepare for a career in ultrasound, radiology, and X-ray technology. With hands-on specialized training, simulations, and real-life experience with the latest imaging technology, you'll be ready to play a vital role on any healthcare team. Transform your life by helping others. Southeastern College. Your future is bright. Visit scc.edu to get started.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.